What's up, guys? Brett Appley here from dailyfanmma.com, back with another UFC Quick Picks on the Mayo Media Network. We have UFC 298 this weekend. Volkanovski versus Topuria in the main event. It is a absolutely stacked card. There's a $1.5 million up for grabs on DraftKings. Great weekend to be an MMA fan. I am here to give you my favorite cash game play, tournament play, salary play, and a matchup I like on the slate as well. And before I do, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and why don't you comment below. Give me your favorite underdog on the slate. We're talking below Topuria. He does not count in the main event. He's going to be quite popular. But if you have a take on anyone priced below Topuria, you can definitely get ahead of the field. So always curious to hear what y'all have to say. And guys, come over to dailyfanmma.com for premium content if you're interested in more DraftKings breakdowns. I just wrote 15,000 plus words breaking down every single fight on the slate, clear and concise as possible. Matchup analysis, DraftKings analysis. Just finished with a 2-hour premium podcast with my boy Gambles Gordo as well. You can find him on Twitter. So we got a lot of good stuff. Projections, rankings too. I know a lot of you support me. Thank you very much. Please, if you want more, dailyfanmma.com. Without further ado, let us get into my cash gameplay of the week, which is going to be Rinya Nakamura at 9.6K. All right, for cash games, I'm going up to the top of the board with Nakamura at 9.6K. It's a bit obvious, but again, I don't like to play around with cash games. Nakamura is the best fighter on this slate for cash game purposes. I do not think you have to force him into tournaments this week. Mid-range builds are quite interesting, and he is expensive. But you have a fighter here who's north of minus 1,200 to win against the newcomer Carlos Vera. He's minus 235 to win inside the distance. A high-level wrestling prospect who has he starched one opponent and cleanly won by decision in his second fight. And Carlos Vera is just sort of, I don't know. He's a 36-year-old prospect coming in on short notice who lost to Brad Katona on The Ultimate Fighter, got out-grappled there. Just not a great athlete, not really dangerous in any regard. A bunch of his wins are by submission, so maybe he has some submission upside, but I just feel like he's going to be very out-physical in this fight. He's going to be at a distinct wrestling disadvantage, and you got to pay up for the safety. I mean, he's pushing minus 1,400 on some books. A great inside distance line, legitimate wrestling upside, and this top tier, Maverick, Whitaker, Gary, Elliott. There are not many good pivot plays for cash games. For tournaments, they're all going to be contrarian, I think, but Nakamura is a standout. He will be popular, but he is a essential lock in cash games. I think you need to start your builds with him at 9.6K. Next up, my tournament play of the week, I'm going with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez at 8.8K, another fighter who I will project to be popular, but all these fighters in the mid-range are going to be popular, so unless you're paying up to Robert Whitaker, Miranda Maverick, Gary, or Oban Elliott, I don't think you're going to be able to avoid public ownership this week. Fluffy Hernandez is just a relentless wrestler, and he is averaging, let me pull up his stats. He's averaging 6.79 takedowns landed per 15 minutes, 6, 8, and 8 takedowns landed in his last 3 fights. And it's just such a good way to score on DraftKings. 116, 120, 117. Elite DraftKings scores. And now he's fighting an opponent in Kopylov who's been out-grappled multiple times in the UFC. I do think Kopylov is a good leverage target in tournaments if you're interested in that. He's going to be a sniping kickboxer. Good first-level takedown defense, and maybe he can keep the fight upright and hurt Anthony Hernandez, but Hernandez just wrestles at such a high pace that I think eventually he's going to get the fight to the ground, and once that happens, Kopylov has not shown much skill from his back. Hernandez is likely to swarm him. I think put up another pretty strong score, and you don't even have to pay that much. 8.8K is a pretty affordable price. Hernandez is, plus 100 to win inside the distance, so that's a pretty good line. It's just an elite floor ceiling combination here at 8.8K. You need exposure to Hernandez. He's my tournament play of the week. All right, my salary play of the week, I am going to close my eyes and take a risk on Mackenzie Dern at 7.9K, coming off a terrible loss to Jessica Andrade where she got knocked down 4 times. And quite frankly, I'm not that confident that she wins. She doesn't have a great wrestling game. Her submission grappling is elite, but she can't get the fight to the ground, does not even average 1 takedown per 15 minutes. Very questionable range striker. So, yeah, if she gets her takedowns defended once again, gets outstruck once again, I really won't be that surprised. But, man, I think Topuria, Ribeiro, and Tafa are going to soak up a ton of ownership in this upper 7K, low 8K range. And I just feel like the public's going to be scared to play Mackenzie Dern, which I understand, but she's only plus 117 to win. So nearing 50-50 odds there. And if she wins, it's going to come from takedowns and grappling success. And her opponent, Amanda Lemos, just got taken down 6 times by Zhang Weili and did not look very good defending takedowns there. So I have some hope, not confidence, but hope that Mackenzie Dern will pursue an aggressive wrestling attack. Maybe she just loses, so be it. But 7.9K, I think she has a pretty high ceiling given her submission grappling oriented style. She is plus 280 to win inside the distance. That's acceptable. Another sort of high floor ceiling combination with Dern, and I'm hoping that she gets a little bit overlooked by the public given the strength of that range. So Dern will be my salary play of the week. That's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for the support. As always, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Appley, Subscribe to the channel. So much great content coming out here day after day in every sport. Again, like the video, and I'm curious who you like as your underdog target below the mid-range. Best of luck. Take care this week, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.